Hey guys, and welcome back to the Adventure Channel. This is TJ. So, we have a quick update regarding the Housing is Key program in the state of California. So, currently, the eviction protection FAQs. This is in regards to a couple of videos that I released earlier. Is what's going to happen after September 30th going into October 1st. We know that the California rent moratorium officially ends. However, I did say that it is a 15-month program for Housing is Key, and I did let you guys know that it would end somewhere around March or so, if you need to file your paperwork. And so here we have our first written confirmation. Actually, it's our second because it is in the paperwork, but this is giving us additional confirmation, letting you know that your Housing is Key still applies if you have been delinquent on your rent from October 1st to March 2022. So there have been a number of landlords, people that I know in the community, putting out false information, bad information, however you want to call it, and they'll get their just desserts because that's not part of the program. You're supposed to let your tenants know what are all of their rights and remedies according to the law, not trying to force people out by some type of means of intimidation. So let's go ahead and get in here and read this. California COVID 19 rent relief is still available. It covers 100% of rent and utilities. There is no deadline, but renters and landlords impacted by COVID 19 who need help with rent should apply immediately before funding runs out. They got plenty of money. Eligible renters continue to have special eviction protections under state law starting October 1st through the end of March 2022. Applying for rental assistance through the California COVID-19 rent relief program can stop an eviction. Now, keep in mind, even if your landlord or someone tries to take you to court, I believe the judge will give you an opportunity to sign up for Housing is Key or one of those additional programs. And that is actually mentioned down here, that if your application is denied for whatever reason and you're standing in court, you still would have to pay any rights or remedies, or you have 15 days to move out after all of that is concerned. But however, even if they do take you to court, they give you the option to apply for Housing is Key. So even in this case, if you're trying to get somebody's trying to evict you, the landlord's hands are still tied because you still got to go through that process. So, yes, California COVID-19 rent relief program is still accepting applications for renters and landlords who have been impacted by COVID-19 and need help with unpaid rent. Landlords are encouraged to work with renters to apply for the program and get reimbursed 100% of unpaid back rent dating back as far as April 2020, and rent and utilities as well. Now, my last several videos on Housing is Key, I've said that they haven't issued out any payments, and a few clients that I've actually assisted with have gotten their rent and utilities paid, and they filed back in around, I think, April or May when this program first started rolling out. So that is good to know. Now, I do know that there are a number of other landlords out there referring people to some of the other programs. And you know what? That really didn't help because those programs either ran out of money or they're now being referred to Housing is Key, and people have to start the process all over again. So you have people in the mix who want their money, and they're still not doing what they're supposed to do by giving people false, bogus information to help prolong the process, because a lot of those programs people were referred to, uh, they ran out of money and now they were sending them back to Housing is Key for them to sign up again. So it's definitely pays to be in the know and stay on top of things. Personally, I would check in with Housing is Key at least 2 or 3 times a week. If you are a landlord or a property manager, that's the best thing to do. Make sure you're applying or doing everything you can by the law, because I can tell you some of this stuff is going to come back and bite somebody in the butt by not taking care of all their paperwork. Renters continue to have special protections under state law and rental assistance through COVID rent relief. A program is still available. If you have unpaid rent or struggling to pay rent that will be due starting October 1st, apply at Housing is Key as possible. Now, keep in mind, if you've already applied for Housing is Key, according to the last messages you guys heard, they will send you an email to resubmit. Now, that will be a little different if you were probably convicted of fraud or something of that nature, but for the most part, They are still accepting applications, but they will send you a link if you've already registered and you just need a continuation of services. Communicate with your landlord immediately if you do not intend to apply for rent relief or have applied. If you receive any eviction papers, etc., etc., you should immediately seek legal assistance. In many cases, responding to eviction papers within 5 days can help delay or prevent your eviction. So keep in mind, even if you get eviction papers, just say, hey, listen, I applied for housing is key, and that'll pretty much be it. And they are pretty much stuck at that point in time with trying to move forward with anything because all of this has to be squared away first before they can move further. As of October 1st, 2021, if you are still in financial distress and receive a notice to pay or quit, a notice from your landlord that gives you a certain amount of time to pay the outstanding rent you owe or vacate your home for unpaid rent during COVID 19. Pandemic protections are available, so you are still protected. If the notice is for rent that came due between March 1st, 2020 and September 30, 2021, give your landlord a signed declaration of COVID-19 related financial distress within 15 days. Now, here's another part. Most landlords aren't doing this. They aren't doing this declaration of COVID financial release. And if you ask them questions about it, they won't tell you anything. They'll just sit there and play dumb, and but that'll come back to get them as well because they're supposed to tell you as well as addition to this website and other states. But also, just wanted to let you guys know that there are other state and county officials that are taking it upon themselves through the state of California. If you are being harassed or not notified of all of your rights and remedies, they are making phone calls to the landlords and to the property managers to let them know what the new policies are because some of these state agencies have gotten a lot of complaints from people, and the tenants don't know what to do. And what's happening is a lot of the landlords and property owners are still using the old Gestapo technique to try to put people out. And some of the state agencies are having to intervene and reprimand some of these landlords and tenants for not letting people know what the new procedures are because they cannot do that old Gestapo wild wild west will put you out in 3 days to pay or quit. Those days right now are gone, and if they don't do their take care of their business appropriately, they will be reprimanded by some other state agencies. So that's another important update as well. In all cases, your landlord must apply for the California COVID-19 rent relief program before they can proceed with an eviction lawsuit against you. If you apply to the rent relief program within 15 days of you receiving a pay or quitter notice, or within 15 days of receiving a notice from CAV COVID-19 rent relief, program, that your landlord has started an application on your behalf, you can stop an eviction while your application is processed. So these are just pretty much the important updates. I've already kind of covered this a little bit earlier in the video. Rent relief program within 15 days from time notified by the program, their landlord has started an application. If the renter and landlord have both timely submitted a completed application with correct information and all required paperwork, both parties will be notified that the applications are complete, and the courts will not issue a summons until the program makes a determination on the application. So everything right now is running through housing is key. It doesn't matter even if somebody's on default, behind, whatever the case might be. Everything right now is being governed by housing is key, even the determination of going to court or some type of eviction. If the renter does not submit a completed application within 15 days of notice from the program, then the court may proceed with the eviction lawsuit. If the renter is deemed ineligible, their application will be denied and the court will be able to proceed with the eviction lawsuit against them. So there's your daily update for housing is key. This isn't going to go too well for a lot of landlords, I tell you that right now. Not because of, is not the whole idea of having control over your own house, but I do know that there are a lot of concerns from property owners and managers and also landlords that feel stripped away from their rights. And I used to be a landlord, and I will tell you this. Years ago, I was thinking about renting out some rooms in my house, and one of my coworkers was like, "Yeah, man, if you rent out your room, your living room area and the kitchen, that's all considered commons area." And I said, "Oh, what?" I was like, "Oh, heck no, I got a lot of expensive technology and stuff, and I wasn't sitting up there buying my stuff for somebody else just to move in and start using my equipment. So my point being is this: I just totally decided not to rent my rooms out to anybody because I like my personal space. I think in this particular case, when a lot of people started renting out their properties and stuff, they wanted to have full control of everything and not thinking that the government or state would supersede or just start allowing them what they can and cannot do. And I say to that, that's always been the case. You should have never rented or became a property manager if you didn't want to abide by those rules. I mean, tenants have always been governed by the state and also by federal regulations. Like you just can't kick somebody out of the house because they have a disability and they have a pet. And you don't like animals in your house, but yet they need to have a a service animal. I'm sorry. So again, you can't deny people services because you don't like it because the state is intervening in some cases like that. It doesn't work that way. This is not like a restaurant where you have the right to refuse service. So again, that's what I have to say, about that. I think a lot of times when people became landlords or tenants and they have problems with situations like this or state intervening, letting them know what they can and cannot do, never came to the full realization that they were you just can't do with people staying in your property when they become a tenant. There are laws about that, and that's always been governed by the state and also federal regulations. That's why I would never be a landlord again. I mean, I was just temporarily, but I didn't like it. It ain't my thing. Now, if that is your thing, then that's another case. But for someone like me, renting out a room, having roommates, that wasn't my cup of tea. So I was like, screw this, bump that. I'm not going through all that kind of stuff. So again, guys, this is TJ. Thank you for watching the Eventual channel, and just wanted to give you this important update regarding housing is key. You guys all have a great day. I'll catch you later. Bye bye.